and I and they know, 'cause we go all in, and I they know, 'cause we go all in.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newest edition of What You've Been Missing. You are now listening to the All Dressed Up podcast, back from hiatus on episode 122. I'm your host, K Dizzle DC, and to my man on this side, the man, the myth, the legend. I got it right first try. Tell him who you are, my guy.
Hey man, it still have streams, man. We back, K. There's a long time no see, big dog. How you been?
Oh man, time well served, my guy. A lot has happened, a lot to talk about, but more importantly, what has been going on with you?
Man, where do we begin? Man, first off, how long has it been? This has been the longest hiatus that the All Dressed Up podcast has been on, but trust me, it was all for good reasons, man. You know, they say that old fashioned phrase is life has been life, but for good things better than anything else, man. But just been working hard, K Dizzle DC. Working very hard. What it do, Big P? And
Big
shout
P.
out to Big P because he's definitely been seeing the work that we've been putting in together. But I had a great time covering this fashion event a couple of weeks ago. Shout out to Stitch by Stitch in Bomb City.
Yeah,
That was a fun event because I got to take the Climbback Series brand down to a live event where we had, models walking the runway. We had a lot of important people in the building that were there giving back to the community, man. So shout out to Stitch by Stitch. And it was a great event, man. I got to meet a lot of phenomenal people. Had some great interviews. Those will be coming out, so you can check those out. But yeah, man, just been working, just been grinding. So what you been doing, K Dizzle?
dropping 17 episodes in between now and then. You've been rolling. Life has been lifing, man. So let me just run down these 10 rules I live by. Number one, keep your mouth shut. Number two, don't share your plans until they materialize. Number three, don't expect equal return. Number four, be better every day. Number five, appreciate what you love. Number six, let go of what holds you back. Number seven, work hard if you want to buy freely. Number eight, people come into your life for a reason. Number nine, success brings challenges. And 10, life doesn't get easier, you just get stronger. The only reason I put that in there because I was looking up our showrunner, right? Sal, what up, man? Look, glad for us to be back. Put it up our showrunner. That's one of the joints
What's
that
good, Sal?
now that's one of the things that first popped up. And so a lot has been moving, life has been life, and um, ended up moving into a brand new home, wife and
Man,
kids are excited.
congratulations, man.
Thank you. And yeah, we just getting positioned, we getting comfortable, and we getting everything rolling. So more importantly, we getting back to what matters in this show right here, and what we do for you guys, and what you guys do for us is have fun, talk our talk, and keep rolling. But look, where you want to go, man? We got everywhere. We
Hey
got
man, K Dizzle out here buying big ass houses and stuff. Make sure when y'all send these all dressed up donations, y'all let me know so I can, make sure I get my half. But nah, man, congratulations, man. Big things for K Dizzle DC and the family. Really happy for you, man. But it's been a lot going on. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about. If you've never seen our show before, if you're just stumbling in, or if you're coming across late, we do this live, man. And when we do, we talk about the culture, everything that's been really, in the news as far as media, entertainment, sports, relationships, business advice. I mean, we do it all. But everybody has to have been watching this Diddy trial. And we're gonna talk about that later on in the episode, man. You see the topic. I said Diddy Harlem shook the feds, man. Like you don't really see a lot of entertainers or artists be able to do something like that. But before we get into everything as far as in the episode, I want to say something. I want to say prayers to the victims, to the victims of the floods in Texas, especially the summer camp with the
oh
youth religious girl group that they have and forgive me for not knowing the exact number because I didn't keep up on the total, but they have a lot of missing people, a lot of missing kids, young ladies. So prayers to those families because I mean that's very sad, and I think people should definitely take a moment because I mean I talked to Shanae today, and I was just like, and it's always easy to say it in hindsight, but I was like, man, I couldn't probably trust my baby girl to go to summer camp,
Well,
just
it's
a
tough,
lot
man.
of things.
It's tough because that area of Texas is known for flash floods. I mean, we could go into the weeds and talk about whether they had enough adequate staffing to get all the emergency information notifications out. But we are where we are, and it was a Christian kids camp
Mm,
got flooded, and they said this river um, rose 26 feet in less than 45 minutes in the dark of night, like
wow.
3 and 4 in the morning. And that is ridiculous. And so, no matter how much advance, that's going to be hard to run from. And again, prayers to the families and the victims and those who are still searching for loved ones who are lost or got swept away by the storm. Our hearts are with you. Make sure whoever you can support their causes and support their families, find a outlet that does it and that is ethical and moral, that will get the money to where it needs to go. But again, loss of life is always difficult to deal with,
Yeah.
especially when we're talking about kids. And so, yeah, man, prayers to those in Texas who've had to go
Yeah.
through the experience.
Yeah, definitely. So I figured we start the show and send our condolences to Texas and for everybody else who's been experiencing, that in that region, any tragedy, our prayers from the All Dressed Up podcast. But on a lighter note, put the number up, K Dizzle, because we do allow people to interact with us.
Hmm.
And all you got to do is text 301-857-1757 to get the link to get pulled in to have a live conversation and interact with your man K Dizzle and have streams. So let us know if you missed anything. What did I miss? Right? That's my little subtopic that I was talking to Kate Dizzle about before we went live. Drake came back out. I
He
don't know if
did.
you
He
care.
did.
Kate
Did you see
Dizzle,
before
Kate
I do
Dizzle
that?
looked at me when I brought this shit up like, man, I don't give a. She's still crying, man.
Did you see Did you see did you see it?
I ain't
Did you
see that
see it,
one
the
yet.
thumbnail? Yeah, that was the thumbnail.
Nah.
But no, let's get into it, bro.
But yeah, we gonna get there. But the Drake tears are flowing. Apparently, K Dizzle DC said it's not a Drake track unless he's crying. But I ain't mad at that. But I wasn't mad at the overall track because he went through a beating, a straight ass whooping over the past 3 to 4 months with the whole Kendrick. And when I heard the song, I actually had a moment. I said, you know what, good for Drake, man. He
Mm.
has some sentiments that I actually like. A lot of people want to come around bob their head to his music, drink his liquor, flirt with all the women in his house parties and stuff. But now there's nowhere to be found. So what did I miss, man? Give us your thoughts on the track. What do you think? Is Drake back? We don't really care. He's been having a long ass run. It's Tom Brady like. It's
There
been
are no
pretty.
there are no thoughts on this. I mean, there are no thoughts on this. It
No
ain't music
serious
to me.
thoughts on the Drake comeback.
No, he should just go back to seeing Nokia.
All right.
He should go back to Nokia. Just go back to what you know. Go back to what you're good at. Stay in that lane. The battle rap you lost, and you lost historically bad. Historically
But
bad.
now they saying he's sending shots at my God, oh man. They saying he's sending shots to LeBron on the track. Saying
Look,
he was at the pop out. Ah,
yeah, look, it is what it is, man. Just you got to let things go. You got to continue to live. You got to take your L and keep moving, and just stay in your lane, man. Just make the girl club music, and do your thing. Don't go back to hardcore rap, hardcore hip hop, because that's not you, not your lane.
I
Stay
don't
in
think he ever did
your
hardcore hip
feature
hop.
life. Just hop on somebody track, do this, that, and the other. Just stop because it makes you look silly. It does. It's you talking about the dub for Team Light Skin. This ain't a dub for Team Light Skin. This is just a reiteration of knowing that Drake is still that guy who's gonna cry when he's still crying about that L. He won't let stuff die. He just gonna keep bringing it up, bringing up old stuff.
Hey
Stop.
man, I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't gotta be a fan of the guy, but I gotta say he made some good points. That was my point about bringing this shit up.
Make you look foolish, bro.
But
You
I
look
mean, he
foolish.
told him, don't be running around now. We know where you was at. What's up, Mama Hef?
Mama is in the building. Mama, the Drake tears are flowing. Don't listen to that stuff. If it ain't a club hit, turn it off, mom.
So K Dizzle's
Yeah,
still riding with K Dot. He said he ain't taking Drake back. He don't give a shit. I don't
stop.
want to hear it. So
Stop.
look, if you just joining the conversation, we don't get into the Diddy trial aftermath, but I want to talk about a little sports. Let's go around about real quick with sports. The NBA free agency just went underway.
Look at that.
He was ready. He was
Of
ready.
course I was ready. Of course I was ready. Bring
The
it back.
NBA
Bring it
free
back.
agency.
Bring it back, Kim.
Do we care?
Bro, it was
Do
a
we care?
74 team trade today. I mean,
That's
it
what I'm
was like
talking about,
74
man.
teams. It's not even 74 teams in there. It's like
It ain't free agency if it doesn't involve Kevin Durant, man. Shout out to my guy Kevin Durant, PG County's own.
shout out to
He's
PG County
involved
Kitty.
in a cash dumping frenzy. They're sending cash apps all around to pull this trade off. And it happened, man. He's a Houston Rocket. James Harden heard the news. He just couldn't believe it. But yeah, Kevin Durant's a Houston Rocket, man, and they got a lot of other players down there besides them trading Cam Whitmore to the Wizards, but that's a
Mhm.
whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Unless Embiid is out, I'm out. Embiid is going to come back. He's saying he's going to come back strong this year, but the Eastern Conference is wide open. All these injuries and shit. And like I was telling you, man, what do you think about Dame being out in Milwaukee? Bought him out.
So who was that made that comment? Was it Dwight Howard talking about Dane was stretched and released?
Hell no.
Dane was stretched and released.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
they need. I don't know. And B. Nobody cares. Philly is. They collected trash.
Sal
They
hates.
bought the
Sal hates
biggest
Embiid.
garbage man. No, known the man, Joel Embiid. Man, that was just. Oh my god.
Yeah,
So look,
speaking of Philly trash, man.
Dame Lillard. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It goes back to what is his legacy going to be. I mean, he carried Portland for as long as he could. He went to Milwaukee. KD is the top 10 scorer. You're absolutely right, P. Um, but what happens to Lillard? Does Lillard fall into that like Kevin Johnson category where you were a good player, you were memorable, but you weren't you weren't changing, you weren't game changing? Kyrie Irving was game changing. Russell Westbrook was game changing, good and bad. It was a lot more bad than good. But yeah, I don't know what happens with Lillard. Does he go? Where is he at? I mean, does he go to
Well, I
Super
mean,
Team?
here's the thing about Lillard, right? Lillard just got paid a lot of money to play for, a couple good teams. And at this point now, I would never call him a ring chaser. I can't believe that Giannis didn't get told that Dame was going to get let go. I
Mm,
know that the front office had to have gone to Giannis. I don't think his pick was to get Miles Turner like they did from the Indiana Pacers. And talking about the Indiana Pacers, to go from going to the NBA Finals unexpectedly to now almost probably not even looking like a top six team in the Eastern Conference with Halliburton, and all these Achilles that's been popping around the NBA.
hmm
But that's a whole wide open situation. Milwaukee, you don't know what they're gonna do. Dame's out. You got Indiana basically out because of Halliburton. They let Miles Turner go. I have no idea what their direction is.
I
And
mean,
you got Philly, and you still have the question marks with Embiid. How healthy is he going to be with Paul George? And then you got Boston. Before we talk about LeBron, we got Boston. Tatum popped his Achilles, so he's not going to be
yeah.
back. They let go of Porzingis. They traded Drew Holiday, so it's a whole
So
different landscape.
yeah. So what do you? The NBA has a star problem. The NBA does have a star problem.
Yeah.
Let's really talk about it. They don't have anybody. We'll get there, Sal. We'll get there, Sal. The NBA has a star problem. Their stars are aging, and they are not. The people aren't going to really watch them unless it gets to the playoffs. Because again, they spend more time off the court talking trash about each other than they do playing a game, truthfully, and winning
Well,
games.
Well,
So,
let's look at the big picture, right?
go ahead.
The Eastern Conference is wide open. The
Yep.
um the Western Conference, you've got Dallas making all these moves since they got lucky with getting, the first draft pick. And then you got Sal, I'm gonna tell you right now, I love you to death, but I'm not stopping the show to talk about any lies from Dak Prescott. We're gonna get there in a second. But LeBron James opts in. LeBron James opts into the final year of his contract. Before we move on, I mean, where do you really think this Los Angeles, these LA years, aka the LA Times with LeBron James is gonna do for his legacy?
Nothing.
Is it a good point? Is it a highlight of his career? Was it a low point in his career? He did get a championship, even though they put an
Bubble.
asterisk on it because of the bubble.
The bubble.
Are we gonna look back at the LeBron years and say it was just really for LeBron and not for the fans? And kind of
Yes.
like, yeah, is that what you,
Yes.
is how you feel?
Yes. Because after what did he do after the bubble?
A lot of meaningless stats, man.
That's it. He
A
played.
lot of
He played
meaningless
meaningless
records.
stats. He didn't do anything outside of that.
And
And
I
so,
hate to say it like I'm a hater, like meaningless records. Y'all know I'm a
but you're a
LeBron guy.
LeBron stan, so
Right,
you just facing the facts. I mean,
right.
everything after the bubble was meaningless stats. And before the bubble, where was he at? Was he with LA a couple years before the bubble?
Nah, he won a chip the what was that, the second year in the bubble.
Yeah,
The
second
second
year
year
in
he
the
was with
bubble.
him.
So I mean, it's just he just chasing numbers, Pete. So LeBron's legacy is going to be all about LeBron.
I
When
think he
you
should have been in LA and out of LA probably faster. If I was being selfish, just being a fan, I don't like him being there for almost 10 years. Like,
it,
get him out of there.
it's hard to it's hard for me to sit and say um and, like LeBron has had a great career. Don't get me wrong. Shout out to LeBron for doing something that a lot of people can't do. Last in the NBA for over 20
Yeah.
years. And
Definitely had the highest level of talent and ability for the longest amount of time
correct,
we've ever seen.
correct. But I have a hard time when you go around and you call yourself the GOAT on a consistent basis, like I am the greatest of all time. Michael Jordan never did that. Tom Brady don't even do that. So for you to go around and just self proclaim like that made me the best ever player, I have a hard time with that. I have a
Yeah.
very difficult hard time, a very difficult time with that. Like I said, Kunta just said, man, um, chasing numbers, and it was nasty, bro. It was just nasty. If you watched a game with LeBron, bro, you would be more enamored with his acting, his flops, his looks for fouls, his looks for calls. It was just ridiculous, ridiculous. The last 5 years was just crazy.
All right, KD now. All
All
right.
right. Look, all right. You getting
You
salty?
just took it, and I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you hot. But I mean, I'm still a LeBron guy, man.
You
We're
getting
not gonna
salty
shit on
already?
my man. What's up, baby? Hey, Sinead. We're not gonna just shit on my man's now.
Hey, I
But
have a
again,
heart.
people take greatness for granted in 2025. Let's be clear here.
Is that what you
Clear
think?
here. You
Nah.
take greatness for granted anytime somebody comes in your podcast, and I love Sal again talking about Dak Prescott in the middle of a LeBron conversation. But look, man, I'm gonna see what he does this year. I hope he goes out on a high note, and him and Luca can find a way to get a chip. I don't see how they're gonna do it. I really don't. We're gonna have,
Let's see it.
we're gonna have a deep dive in that later in another episode in the future. But I don't see how LeBron and Luca's gonna pull this off and get a chip, man.
You better go get Dame. Now,
If y'all think the Lakers got a chance to win a championship this year, definitely text the number and come through.
nah, man, they ain't got no way. Now, if he would have got two more rings outside of the bubble, then he could make a point. Then he could make a point.
If he
Yeah.
got two more, what?
He said if he got two more rings outside of the bubble year,
P
then
tripping, man.
then he
P,
can
get
make a
some
point.
rest,
I
P.
don't know.
I told P he needed to get some sleep the last time I saw him, man. Look, two more rings where? How many more rings you want LeBron to get? How many more rings you want LeBron to get, man? Like that's the thing I don't necessarily need. I don't need LeBron to have to get rings,
Yeah.
but I don't want to see him playing in LA as the number one player on a team, ring chasing, making him look bad when you know damn well he should be on a team as a second option. LeBron James should be the second option for any championship team. If he's the first option or close to the first option, you're not going to win a championship in this NBA. Now he's got to kind of be on a team, and I'm not gonna say like some of my friends that are smoking talking about he should come off the bench. That's just crazy. He can't be the focal point. You feel me?
He
He
can't
can't
be
be the
no.
focal point.
Yeah, he can't be the focal point.
He
LeBron is not
can't.
he's not carrying the team anywhere at all anymore. He can be the floor general and he can take 20 shots, 20 to 30 shots game of
But
max.
don't disrespect him and say he has to come off the bench though.
Yeah, that's cold.
Just because he's not top 5 in the NBA, which I still think he's top 5. But just because
Oof.
he's questionably not in the top 5, that doesn't mean put him in the 12th man position on the team. That's absurd.
I could say even if he get another ring, he won't be there. Woo!
He won't be there.
That's spicy. Yeah. It's again, man, I just have a hard time you self-proclaiming you're the best to ever do it, and you still playing the game. And
Nah,
you're not
longevity is
playing it,
definitely not chasing numbers from my part.
and you're not playing it at the highest level. You cannot be on anybody's show saying that I am the best to ever do it, and you're not playing at the highest level at that current time, and you're a current player. Like MJ said, you know what? When he went to the Wizards, he said, "Yeah, I'm good." He made the Wizards okay, but he figured out, look, I can't do it all by myself no more. I'm too old. I'm out, and he cashed out.
But the difference was though, LeBron, like we said, has been passing records every season. Every year, every month, every game. Anytime LeBron James passed Reggie Miller in 3-point shooting, that's when I knew, like, oh shit, man, this dude been playing at a high level for a long time.
That's what Black Man just said. So now we call chasing numbers. See this? So he is
Is
going
that
to
what
be
you said?
correct.
I didn't say that.
No, I didn't say that. That's what Black Man said. But
Oh.
since he's been there 21, 22 years, he's bound to get some records, bro. Some records have been a long
That's not
overdue.
true, man. There's other players that's been around for a long time. There's a lot of journeymen that you got to give them credit because they done played on 12 teams for 20 years, and they
Like
might
Chris
and they
Paul.
might not have a record at all.
Chris Paul. Chris Paul got to have a record.
Nah, Chris Paul got records, man.
He got to have a record.
K Dizzle
Again,
shooting shots tonight, man.
that's just longevity. Now, I'm not shooting shots. I'm just being honest, man. I'm just being honest. It's
So Kobe is still better than LeBron in Sal's opinion. We're not gonna make this an all LeBron conversation tonight.
yeah.
But the conversation is jumping in the chat. Black man says, Kunta, there used to be an Iron Man award. Is that award still around? Or because LeBron's still putting up start numbers, it doesn't matter. He's a lock for the Iron Man. Give it to him.
He's going
Call the LeBron James Award, man.
Imagine that trophy just be that Iron Man trophy be a LeBron flop. That'd be off the chain, bro.
Are you serious,
That'd be a
man?
LeBron flop. That'd be off the chain. All right,
Hey,
we gotta leave.
Are you serious?
We gotta leave that.
My guy said the LeBron James Iron Man Award statue would be him flopping. Oh my goodness, man. So look,
Go ahead, man.
just like y'all know, we probably the only live podcast that can switch from LeBron to Dak Prescott. If you want to stop there, if you want to stop there before we switch gears, somebody said Dak Prescott says the Cowboys are in position to win the Super Bowl, man.
No, he's
Definitely chime in the chat if you think Dak Prescott is right. Because I'm just hearing this and I'm like, oh shit, the NFC East is gonna be a battle, man.
Stop it, man.
Dak Prescott said the Dallas Cowboys, according to Sal Joseph, the Enough Said podcast co-host, that the Cowboys have a chance to win the Super. They got a chance. They definitely got a chance. Oh, he said we got a hater. It must be a Cowboy fan in the building. Perfect. I hope we got other Cowboy fans in the building because I will tell you, I don't give a fuck about you if you're a Cowboy fan. Not in this show. This is my show.
So this is the only way. This is the only way. Dak Prescott had to be on muscle relaxers when he took that question, or when he answered that. So look,
y'all play Dallas week 1.
I agree. Yeah, we play in week 1. We opened up the.
Oh shit! I did not know that.
We opened up the season. So look, man.
Oh, man
I like Dak Prescott. I like him a lot. I like his enthusiasm. I like his confidence. Everybody, this is the time where everybody believes they can win the Super Bowl, and rightfully so. Right before you get to training camp, that is the goal. That is the promise. That's what you guys commit to. You just got to show up. Oh, yeah. Black man's a Skim fan. He is Skins fan. So Commanders are going to be still in Maryland until 2028, I believe. 2028, 2029. The studio's got to be built. Stadium's got to be built. So
Got
a lot of the Commanders moving to DC. But Dak Prescott is saying what needs to be said for his team to start to believe. I guess.
Okay.
I guess because no one on this East Coast believes that. Only people in Texas believe that.
All right, I got a question for the
Go
chat.
ahead.
I got a question for the world, right? Who wins more games this year? The Dallas Cowboy led Dak Prescott or Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers? Who wins more games this year?
Oh, that's the easy question. Steelers.
Aaron Rodgers has got the Pittsburgh Steelers all of a sudden relevant, or at least their fans think so. Because I've been hearing a lot of talk about, oh, well, we just did this, and this guy's been looking good in the weight room. I'm like, oh, y'all weren't even on the radar just three months ago. But apparently, Aaron Rodgers has the hype train going in Pittsburgh. So who wins more games? The Dallas Cowboys or the Pittsburgh Steelers? Kunta says Aaron Rodgers. Oh, so he said Kunta's the biggest LeBron fan hater in the world, but yeah, Skins fans for life. Steelers always make the Super Bowl every year. You know it
You funny. You
every
their
year.
playoff their first playoff game was their Super Bowl. It's been like that since last time they saw Arizona, wasn't it? What
See, I feel
12
bad
years
when I
ago?
don't got Cowboy fans in the room when I talk shit because I
They
feel
do
like it's
always
too
make the
easy.
playoffs. They make the playoffs.
It's too easy to talk bad about the Cowboys, so I need their fans to be around, or I'm gonna feel like I'm picking on somebody that shouldn't be talking about. It's like beating up on a small helpless child. Like the
Huh?
Cowboy fans make the whole fable bigger than what it is. They've been trash for a long time.
So
Absolute super trash.
take that back. They have not been trash for a long time. They just had not had been able to win a playoff game in a long time. They were 12-3 just 2 years ago and got smoked by the Green Bay Packers. Um, yeah, all
Now
liquidation. Got
liquidation.
smoked by the Green Bay Packers in the playoff game. Yeah. Oh, he called people in here. But look, look, they've had winning records on the past 4 years. Dallas has had winning
But
records. The past 4 years.
the Dallas Cowboys are talked about because they built a great fan base. I can't lie, they got a history. That's why the Skins, we still call them the Skins, but the Commanders are still talked about. We living off the history. We had a great season last year. But I'm not gonna sit here and be blind to the fact that either one of our teams can look at you. You already had that arrogance. Hold on, K does. Let me just finish. I know your team won the Super
Hey.
Bowl. I get it. I get it. But all I'm saying is I know we haven't won the Super Bowl in a long time.
Mhm.
But the team's been bad, man. A couple good regular seasons don't make you a good franchise. And Dak Prescott getting just what's your boy's name? Pickens?
Yeah, yeah.
Pickens? I mean, come on, man.
George
We're
Pickens.
not talking Super Bowl.
Well, I don't. You don't even know if you got. What's the name? Just got caught. Turpin just got caught with some charges. We don't know if is it C.D. Lamb or is it Trayvon Diggs? No, not Trayvon. Stephon Diggs. I think it's
Stephon Diggs.
Trayvon
Oh,
Diggs. Trayvon
Trayvon
Diggs.
Diggs. Yeah. Stephon Diggs with Cardi B on the boat.
Yes, yeah, he just talked about her BBL air. But we talking about Trayvon Diggs. He's still hurt. So I
Yeah.
mean, they got a lot of issues over there. They got a lot of issues over there. So they got a brand new coach, so brand new schemes, and Dak missed half the year last year. So we don't know what they're gonna look like.
How
The
many
only
more seasons you think Michael Parsons gonna be there?
what I am getting tired of is all of this slander against my Philadelphia Eagles and all this belief that the Commanders are going to win the NFC East this year.
No, it's just because y'all are the most annoying champion fans.
Why?
Ever since y'all have won a Super Bowl, I've got memes from different friends and family that have been Eagles fans on IG sent to me every day.
And hold on.
Since y'all have won the Super Bowl, it's been the most annoying shit ever.
And look, I know. Look, this is darn nickel bill. We done spent 30 minutes talking about damn sports, but look,
It's all good.
I know. But look, here you go. Dallas is helped because the NFC East was really bad. Skins and Giants were just no competition for the last decade. Uh, but hey, BBL air is what it was. But look, the truth of the matter is,
What's
I'm
good,
really
Arizona
getting
Ron?
tired
What
of
it do?
the clickbait. I'm really getting tired of the clickbait about dogging my man Jalen Hurts out, saying he's not a top 10 quarterback, saying he's not a top 5 quarterback, all this other trash. that has been constantly being thrown out all before training camp.
He might go down as like a Trent Dilfer type quarterback.
See, exactly. This is the
He
trend.
might go down.
This
He
is the
might
trend
go
you're talking about
down.
right now.
He might
So
go down as a Trent Dilfer type quarterback. Meaning to say, when you look back 20 years, from now, you might say, okay, who was this guy that won the Super Bowl? Who was this guy?
are you serious?
I don't
He
think
is
he's that
literally
great.
he is literally on. I
I don't
said
think he's that great. I think he's a product of a great team. I really do.
he literally is on the same trajectory as darn near Pat Mahomes coming out in his first 6 years.
I'm just telling you, man, I can't take nothing away from his stats just off of me and my football opinion from watching football for since I was 5 or 6 years
Mhm.
old, since the last time my team won the Super Bowl. I don't think Jalen Hurts is great. I don't think he is, man. I think his work ethic is probably phenomenal because I don't know the man personally, but I'm sure his work ethic's phenomenal.
Mhm.
That's how he is where he is because he's not the best quarterback.
I love it.
I think he outworks a lot of cats. I think he's a great leader. I really do. I think he's probably in that locker room and he's got guys following his work ethic. But I don't think he's arm for arm fucking with any major quarterback in the NFL.
Look, see, his scans are back. He's saying Hurts numbers are horrible. He didn't know how to win. It doesn't mean he doesn't know how to win, which matters. He did have a great Super Bowl game. Absolutely.
And see, I didn't even go as far
So
to say his numbers were horrible.
that's crazy work. But kudos to the Eagles. But listen, my skins are back, and when we get back to RFK, our true original stadium, it's over. All right, if you look at it that way, black man, you got another 5 years. So I don't know if you want to wait that long. You're gonna be out of that
No, I
rookie
wouldn't say
contract.
5. I wouldn't say 5 because think about it. I don't think they're gonna have a 5-year window. Like I think these windows come and go faster now.
Well, no, you
I,
talking about getting back to the stadium. You guys ain't
oh,
getting back to the
oh,
stadium for another 4 or 5 years.
oh yeah, that's a while. That's a minute.
So, but Hurts' best numbers were second. All right, I'm not gonna get on. I'm not gonna get
It's
on the
true.
Hurts pedestal. I'm not gonna get on the Hurts train. We just gonna slightly tread over and say, hey, the NFC East may be competitive this year between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Football Giants on who's going to be at the bottom. That's all I'm
Wow.
gonna say. The
Yeah, I don't know
Giants
what
gonna
that's
have
gonna
a
be.
great defense, but no offense. And then the Cowboys are gonna have good offense, but no defense. That's just how it's gonna roll.
Is Russell Wilson starting?
Is Russell Wilson starting?
Yeah,
Who knows what's going down there?
that's what I need to know. I mean, when are we gonna see Russell Wilson? Because those are the games that they're gonna lose.
Hey
So
P,
I want to know what games Russell Wilson's gonna play.
P, let's be real, P. P's coming in here and saying that the Ravens are gonna win the next two Super Bowls. The only thing the Ravens can do is win MVPs. That's all they've been able to do.
Hey, and real quick, Wakunda just said some real shit too. If you pull the touchdowns from the tush push, he's bottom 10 in the league. You know what? He's the
Absolutely right.
FanDuel MVP. That's what he's
Absolutely
gonna go
right.
down for, K Dizzle. You can
Absolutely
put
right.
Jalen Hurts in a 3 touchdown parlay every week.
Absolutely right. But everybody's forget. Oh, let's stop. I'm not. See, y'all gonna make me go down this path. I don't want to go down this path. We're gonna talk about the Ravens put together a top 3 team ever to not win a Super Bowl. P, you don't have a fight the dog. You don't have a dog in this fight, P. You don't. If you really watch your Ravens, if you really watch your Ravens and you're a football fan, you will see that every play that they have generally breaks down and Lamar Jackson makes something out of it. That's the
Yeah,
only reason why he keeps winning MVPs because
yeah.
he makes something out of that plays or those plays every time. And he cannot do that forever. So
He a
shout out
super athlete, man. He's definitely one of the best athletes in the NFL, no question.
shout out to the Ravens. Look, I think the Commanders are going to be competitive. I think the Cowboys are going to be the Cowboys, and I'm always going to be an Eagle fan until I die. Shout out to the New York Football Giants holding down the bottom list. Bottom
Jackson
tier.
Dart. Jackson Dart report to the locker room or the quarterback room immediately to replace Russell Wilson. Jackson Dart.
And Jameis Wilson.
Oh,
Jameis
oh, I
Wilson.
forgot about Jameis. Listen to
Jameis
that
is over there.
pregame speech there between Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, boy.
Jameis is there because he eating dubs over there. All right. That's diabolical. Who wins more games, Cowboys or the Steelers?
That question should make ESPN or first take or some shit. And I just came off the top of my head. I think those two teams have the same delusional fan base and expectations because they're set up for 6 to 8 wins. Both teams.
Very true. Very, very true. Did the Steelers have a running back?
They drafted a running back. I can't remember which running back they drafted, but they definitely got rid of no, they still got what's his name, TJ Warren. And I think
Yeah,
they drafted somebody else, but they got rid of Najee Harris.
they got rid of Najee Harris.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think he's a Charger.
yeah. Good luck to Pittsburgh. No one has repeated. Okay. Coach, here
Uh-oh.
you go. He's
Now
still
we
going.
bringing out
No
Madden
one
curse.
has repeated in the NFC East Championship in 21 years. Eagles need to watch out in the Madden curse. All right. Who was on Madden last year? Who was on the cover last year? Look it up. I need to see this. Because truthfully, I don't, Saquon Barkley could have had an Eric Dickerson record
It was
way,
McCaffrey.
way before, huh?
It was Christian McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey. Oh, that's so bad. Way before the season ended. Dart is going to replace Wilson quicker than Shador Sanders' car.
That's funny.
That is hilarious. Who's going to start in Cleveland? I want to know who in the chat. Who's going to start in Cleveland? 1 for Kenny Pickett, 2 for Shador Sanders, 3 for the unnamed guy that we don't care about.
I don't think the week one starter is gonna make any difference. How many games do you think Shador is gonna start? He's gonna start at some point, but how many games do you think he's gonna play?
How many games is going to start?
I think Pickett is gonna start week one, but
Mhm.
then you got Flacco.
I'm sorry. Flacco is there for emergency purposes only. You got to break the glass to pull him back out. You got Kenny Pickett.
He's better than
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts' ass.
you got Kenny Pickett, Shador Sanders. What's the other guy's name that we don't care about?
Patrick Mahomes' second
Dylan
generation
Gabriel.
cousin.
Dylan Gabriel will start before Sanders. Wow. Look at
That's
you with
sad.
your Vegas stats. Coach, you coming out the woodwork.
They
Vegas
said he
stats.
was looking like
Dylan
trash in
Gabriel.
OTAs.
That's the guy we was talking about. So you say Dylan Gabriel. Blackman said Caleb Johnson. But Kenny Pickett's going to get the start. Now,
That's a hell of a welcome to the NFL to be the sixth string quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. You can only go in with 3.
no, they're going to go in with 4. They're going to go in with 4 because they're used to people getting hurt.
Damn, that's a lot of quarterbacks, man. They need some other roster positions to fill up.
Where?
They
They got
need,
plenty.
they need to. They need
Well,
to. They need to have more people play in other positions and have all those damn quarterbacks.
The Cleveland Browns are Cleveland Browns. They're going Cleveland Brown their life away. So they got their own issues. But look, do you really want to get into my man here?
Hey, look, man.
Do you want to get into my man?
Because we are the All Dressed Up podcast, and because we talked about it before, we might as well finish up. No pun intended. But Baby O is back in the streets for now. I mean, the biggest thing is, we haven't really seen anything like this before in the history of civilization. Right? The towel is still in Cleveland. I forgot about Deshaun Watson. They got so many quarterbacks. They got more quarterbacks than Diddy got Baby O.
Yeah. Oh, and that's hard.
And that's impossible
That's damn near
because
impossible.
they said they found so many boxes, but even all that wasn't enough. The boxes of Baby O and Astroglide wasn't enough to convict Diddy for the major charges, man.
Not
And
Astroglide.
I,
Not Astroglide.
I,
Go
wa-
ahead.
I watched it because I never seen anything like this before. And the craziest thing about it, K Dizzle, I was so captivated. Maybe I'm just a Bama, but I was captivated by this trial because the shit that came out of here was so disgustingly just staged just to embarrass somebody that it couldn't have been real, man. And they really just, I think, paraded the embarrassment train for Puffy for this whole trial because the shit that they said that he did outside of 3 things, and the one thing that the world saw was the Cassie fight in the hotel. I don't think it was a crime. I really don't think he committed any major crimes. I wasn't there, but for the charges that were in play and for the evidence that was presented, I think the only thing that he was guilty for was what they said, and that was basically transporting prostitutes. He was
All right,
flying
so
prostitutes out.
let's go down the line real quick. Count one, racketeering conspiracy,
That's the
not
big one.
guilty.
Pause.
Not guilty. Count two, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, not guilty. Count three, transportation to engage in prostitution, guilty. Count four, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, that's a RICO charge, not guilty. Count five, transportation to engage in prostitution, guilty. So he beat one, two, and four, which was all the RICO charges. Counts three and five is the ones that he was found guilty in. And I think he's still awaiting sentencing, if I'm correct. Um,
Right.
but a lot of people are upset with this. And I think because of the fact that uh, all of the stories that came out of it, in the courtroom and out of the courtroom, people were taken aback by it. They couldn't believe it, right? They were like, "Oh my God, I couldn't believe he did all this stuff." Uh, Part of it, yeah, Blackman says they wanted to embarrass him. They What he did to Cassie on that video in that hotel was definitely domestic violence. I would agree wholeheartedly. I think more than anything, because that video came out and because the stories came out, um, they wanted to catch him on that. They wanted to prosecute him on that. He was already prosecuted by the court of public opinion. It was trash. He was this stuff unfortunately happens so much, and the fact that it's P Diddy, and he's been suspected for a long time, and it's P Diddy parties, and everybody knew, and Hollywood secrets, dirty secrets, all coming out. They just couldn't stick him on the RICO charge because it's got to be with heavy intent. This man was just partying, and yeah, he coerced people to do stuff. But again, these people are all adults and they made choices. And as bad as a choice may have seemed or sounded like, you made the choice. You were there. You decided to stay when everybody else left, and that was that. But the relationship that he had with Cassie, it was highly abusive, highly toxic. Don't condone it in any way, shape, or form. So,
See, to me, it's a lot of layers to this though, because outside of the basic shit behind all the sex stories and all the shocking shit that runs fast on the media, you got Puffy in the middle of it. So you got one of the biggest, not just black entertainers, but biggest entertainers in the world of all time.
mhm,
Iconic in many different fields when it comes to music at first, to fashion, to philanthropy, to branding. One of the most successful people that we've ever seen in our lifetime being at the middle of the most slanderous accusations. Now, what happens is, to me, in my opinion, if we were to know the truth behind this, I think this case probably would set the record for most money being moved behind the scenes affecting a court trial.
mm,
I guarantee you, if anybody was to be a mice or a bug on the wall or in the room to see all the money that was moved to get people to not talk, to get people to do whatever they did to play their part in this trial, I guarantee you it had to be millions of dollars, K Dizzle. Because there were so many people that could have came in that they were gonna say that was gonna come in and never even testified. A
mm,
lot of people that they just swore was gonna be able to drop the bomb that was gonna take them down really didn't have anything that scathing outside of what they were showing as far as what he was doing with Cassidy and 50 Cent's baby mother. But the crazy part about it is that what happens now with hip hop? Because exactly how many parties did Hugh Hefner throw? This is
so
all about extortion. And the
how
last thing I'm going to say real quick, here, so you can go again. It's a black man. It's an extortion all the way around. I'm not backing Diddy at all. I wasn't there. I'm not his man. But I'm just saying the charges didn't come up and really get magnified until it seemed like there was a lot of money involved. Cassie came out and won a $30 million lawsuit that went
mhm,
public. You don't hear about the private money that gets moved. That's what I'm saying. The public money is the 30 million. There's so many other people that got paid off
mm,
that you couldn't even imagine. And I'm not saying it was because he was right or wrong, but because he knew that if they came to the surface, it wouldn't look good for him. Now, what happened is he probably got extorted by people that were in big positions, and they put him in this position to go ahead and get embarrassed. And he was probably paying the money the whole time. And they were probably putting their foot on his neck by saying, and there's different rumors of things that he could have done. There's a liquor allegations. He had accusations that he was unhappy about certain money and certain deals. And he's had a lot of different, business deals going wrong over the last 20 years. So you could always have people after you, per se. But it's all about the money, man. Follow the dollar. Outside of what he did to Cassie in that hotel, obviously he abuses women, but he abuses himself, man. Like how is he going to be in business now, coming out for the rest of his career? And all the relationships with the artists that he had, are they going to turn their back on him? I'm curious to see who's going to stand in unity with him when he does get back in the street.
How quickly we forget the Playboy Mansion. How quickly we forget all those parties that happened there in the infamous grotto. Hugh Hefner, um, Jeffrey Epstein. They try to Epstein Diddy. I don't know. Everybody's saying Diddy was trying to buy NBC again. Every time somebody black try to buy something big, they just make him go left or whatever the case may be. I think this is part of his Diddy's own doing, his doing in of his crazy lifestyle that just came to the light, and everybody that wanted something from him or wanted to get something out of him or wanted to move him out of the way, they did.
Yeah.
They did, and truthfully, there was nobody that was ever going to be able to come in and like vacate the space that Diddy was leaving behind, because I think the era of that type of mogul, like heavy music mogul, is kind of gone by the wayside. We don't have that anymore. If you look at how hip hop, R&B, and the entire music culture is shaped, it's very independent of that type of culture. It's very independent of needing someone or needing that in to get you to that next level. The only thing you're doing now is stamping and bringing them to a larger audience. So Diddy's just wild life just came into the open, was exposed to everybody, and everybody who could make money off of it just came forward, got their coin, and left, and they couldn't get it to stick. They just could not get it to stick. So um, I don't condone what he did, but the fact that everybody in Hollywood was aware of the free cost just kind of lets you know, hey, we knew what it was going into it. So he is out. The baby oil trail is pointing in the direction of Brooklyn, New York, or one of the other boroughs, either Brooklyn or Harlem. He's out for now until he gets his sentencing. I think his sentencing is in a month or so. Who knows?
If you were a juror, what would you have said?
Huh?
If you were in the jury, what would have been your verdict?
I don't know, because I didn't listen as intent as a lot of other people did into it. Outside looking in, again, I look at it as humans making decisions, human
Right.
adults making decisions. And if you're making the wrong decisions or you're making decisions based on how much you're getting paid, that's completely on you. Uh, I
But I
mean,
think I think the problem that I've been noticing just out of the last two major trials with hip hop, with Young Thug and Puffy, is the attempt for these RICO convictions. I think that these attorneys, they go out, and these prosecutors go out on a limb trying to paint this enterprise, this racketeering and enterprise behind the crime, and it seems like that's been kind of hard to prove in court. So
well,
maybe if they went with a different direction instead of taking that route.
well, they're always trying to overcharge black people. That ain't never gonna change. It's just what it is.
100%.
It's just what it
Hundred
is.
percent.
You got more money, the harder they're gonna come at you, and that's just the truth of the matter. They know you can afford it, and so they're gonna try to drain every pocket, everything they can, seize everything, make it difficult for you to get it back. So
So let me ask you this question, K Dizzle. Does this case in any way, shape, or form tarnish the image of hip hop?
hell yeah, hell yeah, you ain't gonna see him nowhere. If you do, it's not gonna be welcome. So that's the problem. Here's what the stain is. The stain on Diddy from here on out is not the stories. It's not the trial itself. It's the Cassie tape.
Mm.
It's the video. It's the hotel tape of him literally kicking her in a hotel lobby, right by the elevators, profusely beating her down for no apparent reason. It is that particular image of him being a cruel and an evil person that will forever sit in front of him now.
Let me ask you this question. Let's segue towards Cassie real quick before I forget. Now I'm interviewing you and shit, but I'm thinking about it as we go along. Allegedly, she's going to be sued, and again, because she just publicly got 30 million now, other people who see any type of pain that she inflicted throughout whatever her parts were are going to maybe come for her. And that 30 million ain't safe. So they're saying she may have spread STDs to some of these escorts.
It's par for the course, man. It's par for the course. If you're out there, you got money, they found out you got it, they're gonna sue so that you can settle. The object of the exercise. When people sue other people, they're not really looking to go to court. They only want you to settle to get money from it. That's just the truth of the matter because they understand how our society works. And if you go to court with it, on most cases, the publicity about that case itself to a company or a personality or someone in the media is more damaging than you actually winning the case. Now, unless you got absolute no case and you want to make a stand on it, then you take it to court and you win it. But the damage is already done, and now you got to work backwards when that stuff like that happens. So again, when people sue, they only want to get money. They want to get a small payout so they can move on with their life and get some bread out of it. Just take advantage of a situation. Take advantage of a situation. And that's always how it's been. Anybody ever sued, they just want money. That's the only reason why you sue. Get money. So what man Blackman saying? If rock and roll, techno, rave, and all that isn't tarnished, then this will not be a tarnish on hip hop, but a tarnish on the way people look at Puff. 100% agree.
Well said.
Puff,
Well said.
Puff's just not there anymore. He's not in hip hop anymore. And his sons is they was trash anyway. They were living off all the royalties
It
that he
was
was doing.
trash
I
anyway. It was
apologize.
harsh.
But
He doesn't ain't hold no punches
no,
tonight, man.
no,
He
this
said Diddy Jr. and the boys ain't
Diddy
shit
Jr. and the
anyway.
boys, they weren't even relating to the current generation. So it's just
And they still, their dad was still the bigger celebrity. If your dad's 50 some years old and he's still more in the limelight than you and you're 20, that says
Mhm.
it all. You
Yeah,
know?
you're not going to get anywhere near that status in it. Now, will this take away from what Diddy did for hip hop? Absolutely not. But it
But that's why
will.
I was saying, how are the artists gonna move that he was working hand in hand with now that he can't necessarily be, as you say, as involved in hip hop from here on
Mhm.
out? Because I think that's interesting. I don't think Diddy's gonna stay away from hip hop.
No, he on Ike Turner status. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew what Ike Turner
People
did
gonna be
for.
looking at Diddy like this when they walk around now.
Yeah, people will. People will. Just
He
because
paid.
that's
He put a lot of people on. A
don't
lot of
matter.
people, those people that work, like I said, close to him, like the Khaled's, the French Montanas, the Meat Mills.
It's tough when you become a pariah because everybody's gonna attack you. And you make that choice. You make that choice up front on what you feel, on how you feel what the relationship with that person is. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Like French Montana still gonna do what he do. I don't think I haven't heard anything from French Montana lately, so I don't know. I can't tell.
Some
Look,
wild shit, man. We'll see.
we in a different age bracket. I feel like just stamps what Puff been saying, what people have been saying about Puff throughout the years.
Yeah.
Everybody,
Basically, they all just was like, we knew this shit.
we knew it. They knew it. They all knew about the freak off parties, which is why if you looked when he started getting hit with it, people would go on podcasts and now famous people would be asked and be like, did you know about the freak off parties? Were you there with the freak offs? They'd be like, yeah, I knew about them, but no, I
This
wasn't there.
cat, this cat coined the term "freak off." That's
Yeah.
when you know you freaked out when you call some shit some freak off.
You know, I'm now, freak off party. And it's freak off party is up there with R. Kelly's passport song. So they on the same level. Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Do you want to come to America?
Hey man,
That's
speaking of
that's
R.
crazy.
Kelly, one of his quote unquote victims said they got married a couple years ago, man. They said
Who?
they got married. R. Kelly. So they got married while he was in court. She been visiting him, holding him down. That girl Joycelyn, we talked about, back on the podcast a long time ago.
Ah, brainwash.
Saying they got to let him out, man. Free the man R. Kelly. Kells.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'll carry on with that. There's there's other fights you can fight. Let that man do his time, and hopefully he get good time.
How much time he got?
I don't know. He got more than enough. I wish. Shout out to R. Kelly, one of the greatest R&B writers of our generation. What else you got, man? This has been a hell
Yeah,
of an episode.
we still prove to the world that we can still do it, man. We can still do it at a high level, live, on YouTube for everybody to see, chime and interact. We don't edit, we don't break. We talk about everything that everybody might be scared to talk about.
It's like riding a bike, baby. Well, look, what I think that came out of this with Diddy is it's time for a changing of the guard. I think, we didn't even get into Jim Jones talking about he better than Nas.
That shit is hilarious, man. Jim Jones is another
blasphemous, bro. People just want to be in the limelight. We need to stop that. Shout out to our heroes who need to ride off in the sunset. But yeah, we need to change the guard. We need new faces. We need new leadership in a lot of these different areas. I think there's some young dudes that are carrying the load, aka K Dot and others like that. I appreciate you, black man, for sliding through. We're gonna be doing this more on the regular. We're gonna get back to it. But again, hip hop culture, love, relationships, it's all intertwined. And we all talk about it every time. What I need you guys to do, okay, is make sure you go to YouTube and go to Health Streams Media so you can catch all of the Climbback series as they drop and as they keep coming, because it's a dope series and that is going to go far. Look forward for 2025, 2026. Some huge names coming to that. I am getting back into my streamer life again. Now that I'm settled, now that we're in this crib, we can make things happen. So you catch me there doing stuff. You can catch the ADU podcast on YouTube. You can run it back there. Facebook, you can run it back there. You can go listen to us on Spotify. You can go find us anywhere that they show or listen to audio podcast at all. Just put up ADU podcast, all dressed up, and we will pop up. These hats, this logo will pop up on your feed. Put in your saving in your favorites, and when the new episode pops up, it'll come right to you. You ain't got to look for it. Submit your info to alldresseduppodcast.com if you got ideas for shows. You want to come on, you want to promote your stuff, and you ain't selling drugs. You ain't selling drugs or guns illegally here. We put you on, man. We bring you in. If you want to be part of the advertising crew, which we'll gladly take sponsors. And we love what we do, and we do what we love, and we do it for you guys. 110%. Hef, I know I kind of slid into that like real heavy. What you got on that, Mike?
Hey man, it's that baby oil talk. Pause, but nah. In all seriousness, man, we appreciate each and every one of you that came through tonight to enjoy this experience live with us. Shout out to Black Man. Shout out to Kunta. Shout out to everybody since day one, man. Arizona. Shanae, my baby mama, Hef, the family. I ain't see Erica tonight. HCG hosts can grow. We back, man. All Dressed Up podcast.
Ain't no room for the Commanders. We're not
gonna say that because it's a co-host here.
It is a co-host.
But we're gonna also give the Eagles their reign. They are the champs until the season starts. But look, it's just around the corner. It's just around the corner.
We'll be back, Alex.
You know, and I know, and they know, and we know, we go all in, and I know, they know, 'cause we know, we go all